Cindy, thanks for joining the panel. Happy Thanksgiving. Great to have you here. I know it was yesterday, but on US time it's this morning. So I know that you've rung home and celebrated that. And on that point, Cindy, you're the new arrival to our city, and the theme has been livability this week. So I'm just wondering, what's your impressions having been here, probably not even for a year?
Yeah, 9 months.
What are your impressions about how Brisbane stacks up in terms of livability?
Yeah, I think it's been a great move for my husband and I. We've lived in some amazing cities, including San Francisco, Sydney, and Singapore. We moved here in February, and I think livability is about how well can your lifestyle fit into the place and your life, the things that are important to you and you value, and it's been quite a good match. For me, it starts with, can you come to a place where you feel like you belong? Not only are Queenslanders welcoming and very friendly, they're actually inclusive. And, when you first get here, most of the people you meet say either I'm born and bred Brisbane or I'm a proud Queenslander. But there's a lot of us that have come from elsewhere, and not only are we welcomed, we're included, and that includes by the sporting community. I've been to so many sports. That's been a great way to get involved. And I want to shout out to the business community. Many of you are here today, and I've been invited to so many events. The second thing for me is well-being, and does the place allow you to take care of your well-being? And for me, that comes down to two things. Can I get outdoors, and can I exercise? And that needs to be every day. And, of course, the weather here every day, coffee on my porch, looking out at the garden, amazing walkability. I actually live right above the cliffs a couple blocks this way, so always access the parks. And then great hiking within short reach. And as to exercise, gosh, this is an active city, and it starts early. I've had to shift my day an hour earlier with your time zones, but been able to quickly get involved, find great yoga studio, and shout out to Brisbane Pickleball Club, which I've joined. I'm playing pickleball 4 or 5 days a week, fastest growing sport in America, and I soon
just ask Andrew Liveris. Right?
Yeah, exactly. His
massive
son's
pickleball fan. Yep.
And then the final thing for me, what was I going to say? Third one, well-being, and I had another one. Anyway, it's been a great. Ease. I wanted a simple life. So for this move, my husband and I said, keep it simple. And so we chose to take a smaller apartment closer to the city here, and that makes the commute kind of irrelevant. And we got rid of a car. We have 1 car and 2 bikes. And thank you, Lord Mayor, for the biking pass. I don't like to bike in traffic, but you're doing better and better. Can't wait for this bridge and the one you're building over at Breakfast Creek. So you just can have an ease of lifestyle here without the complications.
And that exercise that you talk about is one of the things I love about your story is you're a massive Bruce Springsteen fan and a fan of exercise. And is it true that you had number plates born to run?
I did indeed. I had New South Wales. You can't get that in America, but it was my birthday present for my husband. I had born to run on the plates.
Perfect. Now, one thing that you have done with the organising committee is you've gone overseas and you've asked people what do they know about or think about Brisbane. Can you share with us some of the early thoughts on that?
Yeah, so we've started the work on the brand. We've announced that. We've done an extensive work in the country, and particularly in Queensland, and many of the things that Queenslanders want to stand for and proud of, you're aware of: lifestyle, natural beauty. There's an ambition here to be more. The interesting research came internationally, though, and we did test some of the directions we were heading in international markets. And of the focus groups, we did focus groups in 6 international markets, and 3 out of 90 people could name Brisbane and point it out on a map, and 0 knew that we were hosting the games. So that is both
3 out of 90.
Yeah.
Where were the?
U.S., UK, China, Singapore, Germany. Can't remember the 6th one. So some pretty big markets. I don't think I'm surprised by that. And much of the stuff we tested, and we've done some hype reels, was like once they start to see it, they're like, I want to go there. And that is the opportunity. And I think we can shape what this city, what this region, what this country are known for in an international audience. And people talk, Andrew talks about it all the time, put it on the map. And I think it is the opportunity. But we're starting from a relatively low level of awareness.
And that, Lord Mayor, is the opportunity, right? That's the blank canvas that we have in terms of how people see us from overseas.
And that's the point of difference between us hosting the Games and everyone else, because most of the cities that host are well known already. And you look at Tokyo, Paris, LA, London, Beijing, they're known. We aren't, and we're about to be.
Yep.
And the other thing in the research, which was fascinating though, was that the natural environment here is a big part of the appeal. That's no surprise to us, but it is, people can go and see city skylines anywhere. Built environment, there's amazing built environment anywhere or in different places, but here you have the mixture of this amazing environment. And so that's not just Brisbane, that's the surrounding areas, the coast, the rainforest, the river, the waterways. That is a big part of the selling point. And when people saw that, they're the things that people wanted to come and visit as well. Of course, wildlife has to be a big part of it too. Australia has a great brand. So Australia is a respected and well-known brand around the city, around the world. Brisbane can fit into this market of being, I think, the most Australian place on earth. We've got everything you would want to do here on our doorstep. You can just go a little bit that way, and the world's largest koala sanctuary. Look at where we are now, embracing the river in the heart of the city. All of the hiking, all of the beaches, rainforests, waterfalls. That's got to be a big part of the marketing of Brisbane. You can do all those things. You can see all those things here.
It's interesting, because we think of it as a little bit kitschy, sort of koalas and surf beaches and so on. But actually, if that's what people want to come here for, rather than a city, anywhere, then we should be embracing it. I'm looking forward to Lone Pine CBD coming up. Just an idea.
I'm sure Howard Smith Wharves will do a deal, and there'll be koalas here.
One thing, Lord Mayor, we have looked at this week, as I say, is livability. And one thing that shocked me was on livability indexes. I think back to 20 years ago, you drive out of the airport and there was a sign that said, Brisbane, Australia's most livable city. Now on those livability rankings, for a heap of reasons that we've gone through this week, we're somehow ranked as the last mainland capital, behind not only Sydney and Melbourne, but Adelaide and Perth. Thank you, David Luttrell.
Well, first of all,
that worked a lot better when we practiced it before.
First of all,
are they wrong?
I call BS. But look, we do get marked down every time, and this has been an ongoing thing, for our climate. And I'm not talking about sustainability. I'm talking about it's hot here, it's humid here. And if you look at pretty much every other city that ranks highly in the livability, it's a colder place. So they mark us down for the temperature and the humidity. I don't think that's very fair, but that's one of the reasons why people want to come here as well. It's a point of difference. But the reality is Brisbane is the place where people are voting with their feet to come. And so whatever the rankings might say, Melbourne, who was the most livable city time and time again, is now the most leavable city, and everyone is coming here. So that's the survey that matters the most. But we need to continue to gear up our efforts, otherwise we'll lose some of the great things about Brisbane and Southeast Queensland. And so it's the opportunity to double down to make sure that we continue to move up the rankings. Transport is going to be a key part of that, there's no doubt. Like the infrastructure, the transport, the housing. So we need more homes, we need more supply, we need better transport and connectivity. And that's got to be a combination of things. So we're seeing Sydney, you're talking about the great bike paths, and it's horses for courses. So the closer you get into the city, it's going to be more walking, cycling opportunities. Then you're going to have Brisbane Metro style opportunities further afield from that. Then it's the rail opportunities further afield. So all of this stuff has to be a key focus, otherwise we will lose our livability.